Hey guys, I am just getting set up here and I am not sure. Okay. This is my new live stream setup. So sorry, my house is a mess. I want to start doing live streams, recordings, talking about what's happening in the world and court cases. So thank you for, well, no one's here yet. So hopefully somebody will join soon. Let's see. Well, let's see what is happening in the news today. I kind of wanted to talk about Lori Daybell. She has aged a lot. She used to be a really pretty woman, in my opinion, and prison life does not do well for you. It makes you age. And she's probably keeping all of these demonic secrets inside, and it's starting to wear on her. I can only imagine, or I would think if she has some sort of conscience, which is probably rapidly deteriorating her appearance. Plus, being in prison definitely makes you age, but she looks like crap in that picture. So if you guys don't know yet, my name is Angie Smalls, and I am trying out a few different setups to live stream. Hope you guys can hear me. Okay, I think you guys can. It says my mic was unplugged. No one's watching here yet, but I wanted to go live today. I did just open up a YouTube channel, but I guess it takes 24 hours before you are verified to go live on YouTube. Actually, let me see if I can, while I'm waiting, let me see if I can actually go live on OBS. Let's see here. Settings. Stream. YouTube. Disconnect account. Yes. Connect account. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Want to connect account. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck. I'm so used to going live on Latin Affiliated that my muscle memory keeps taking me to Latin Affiliated, but we are doing Angie Smalls now. Let's see if it'll let me stream on. Hey, what's up? If you're watching, thank you so much for watching. This is a new channel. I'm Angie Smalls. I'm trying a few new setups right now. I'm going to be going live on Twitch and YouTube. And I am using StreamYard. I haven't used StreamYard in a while. I'm usually used to using OBS. But so for now, we're just going to be here on Twitch. I am going to be doing commentary on like court cases and things that are happening in the news. So sorry, my house is a mess. You can see that's not my medication. That's my doggy's medication, which I need to give her. And I'm just like procrastinating on that because I can't imagine trying to make her drink or eat a pill. I guess I have to like maybe stuff it in a piece of food. But so I want to talk about what's happening with this case. This lady, Lori Daybell, she's going to be representing herself she's got to be insane, because you wouldn't want to represent yourself in a murder case. I wouldn't think you would want to. And also, she's probably a super narcissist that actually thinks she can charm her way out of this, all of these murders. Apparently, she's murdered 3 people, and actually 4, because her brother, she got her brother to kill her first husband. So yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, but this channel, we're going to be, deep diving into things like this. I love talking about cases. I love binge watching the shows that talk about cases. And this one, I haven't done so much research on it. I will do some research because I want to know when the actual next court date is happening. I know Lori just had a court date, and I guess it was just a meeting where she was talking to the judge about, you could tell she doesn't know what she's doing, which is, I mean, she's got to get a clue. Like, she was, and the judge was so patient with her. Like, shout out to the judge, but she doesn't even know like basic courtroom etiquette. Like, she was asking the judge, where do I stand? And he said, well, do you have an advisory counsel? And she said, well, I have a paralegal. And apparently those are 2 separate positions. And she was like, well, can I use my paralegal as my advisory counsel? And he was like, sure, I'll allow it. And then she was asking the court like basic questions like, okay, what if I have a piece of evidence? Like, and he said, don't go up to the witness, use your advisory counsel to hand over any sort of evidence. So basically, like, stay at your desk and have your quote unquote assistant, unofficial assistant, or whatever, your paralegal do like handoffs in court while you're representing yourself. So, these are questions that, of course, if you're not a lawyer, I mean, it's always like things seem so simple until you're in the thick of it. And so I feel like the judge had a lot of patience to walk her through something as simple as that, seemingly simple as that. Like, if you're a lawyer, you know where to stand, you know where I guess there's a table where the evidence is, stuff like that. Like, but everything has like a flow, but you're only going to be familiar with stuff like that if you actually practice these things. And so, yeah, like things like that, like seem, kind of self-explanatory, but she was asking the judge little things like this. And so it's like, if you don't even know things like that, like, why are you representing yourself? So of course she's going to be found guilty. I mean, that's just how I feel. If anyone thinks she's innocent, please tell me, but she's not. I mean, so again, I want to go deeper into this case as it starts getting underway. I guess she's been being held in prison, for a couple years already. It's a really sad story. 2 kids have died. From what I could hear, or what I've kind of read, is she may have. The reason they haven't found her daughter is because the way the daughter, they think that they killed her was, they think that they took her to Yellowstone and pushed her in one of the acid, like, hot springs. So, I mean, what a sad, horrible way to die. And, so they're not going to find the little girl's body. And then I think they found the son. So, yeah, I have to do a lot of research. I don't want to, kind of just talk out of the side of my mouth and like not, really state facts here. But this is things that I'm interested in. So I just wanted to do a video and kind of talk about things that we will get into more. And I'm going to be streaming here on on Twitch, and I'm going to be streaming on YouTube. So my channel is Angie Smalls here, and on YouTube is Angie Smalls with a Z, 2 E's and a Z at the end. So please subscribe and let me know if you guys like court cases. The other court case that's coming up is the Bryan Koehberger one. And all of a sudden, they're releasing more information. If you guys like the court cases, I'm sure that, they released the phone call of the roommates. They released the photo that was in Bryan Koehberger's phone that he took the morning after. Let me look it up. Bryan Koehberger, and he's so pale, and creepy looking right here. So he took this selfie in the morning of the murders, and like he was giving himself like a pat on the back, like good job. And I guess he went to class as well. And so one of his classmates, or I don't know if he was still an assistant at that point. I think he had already gotten fired, because he got fired for being an assistant. Oh my God. So shout out to Point and Shoot. Point and Shoot. He is supporting my new live stream journey, but that's a big YouTuber. So what was I saying? Bryan Koehberger. Yeah. So I guess his peer or classmate saw him and said that he had a pep in his step, where way before all the other times in class, he kept to himself. He was super awkward, off-putting. And he said, looking back, he was still that, but he was more happy. And so this guy thinks he really got away with murder. But there's no, again, I want to hear everybody's opinions. There's always people that think people that are being accused of things like this are innocent, and that they have the right to go through a trial. Yes, they do. But, there's just way too much evidence, in my opinion, that he's the only one. He's the only one that could have done this, in my opinion. So if you are, think that he's innocent, let me know. Whoever is watching me, because I see one person watching me. Thank you so much for watching. So I don't know. I have this other channel on YouTube. It's called Latin Affiliated, but I wanted to do something just for me that, that I could do other topics. And I watch these court channels all the time. I've been watching Duty Ron, I think his name is, or Ron Duty. He's like a retired police officer. I like his channel. And then there's also this other girl, Zav girl, Jumpsuit Pablo, AG Tactical, who's based out of LA. That's where I'm at. I'm in LA. And so that's where the inspiration has come for this channel, because I think that we could have more discussions like this, and I, would love to be a part of the conversations. So I will get more versed into these cases so I can talk better about them. These are just some of the things that have caught my eye recently, being the Bryan Koehberger one and the Lori Vallow, Daybell. I was watching something on YouTube yesterday. It was a Dateline episode where they interviewed Lori, and she was super condescending to that guy, the guy that is the host of Dateline. He's like an older guy. I don't know his name, but she's just making jokes the entire time. And even when they took her in for questioning, when her brother, if you're not familiar with the case, I mean, I'm just kind of spitballing like things that I know about the case. her husband was killed, and she was there, but she says she didn't see her, and her brother is the one that killed her husband. And it looked like a setup because they were texting each other later and saying like, we got rid of him, but they gave him like this alter ego name. They called him Ned Snyder. They were saying that he was possessed by someone called Ned Snyder. And then they were talking to each other about the life insurance plan that she assumed he had, and she assumed she was the beneficiary, when in fact he had picked up on her weird vibes. And 2 months prior to her killing him, he had changed the insurance policy out of her being the beneficiary to his beneficiary. So she killed her husband, set her brother up to do it for her, and nobody got money. She basically did that for nothing, and she's an idiot. And her husband seemed like a good guy, and it's always like so amazing to me that these crazy ass women get these really good guys. Like, good guys like crazy women. I guess it goes both ways though, because good girls like crazy guys. But so now and man, this lady, she's just ruined so many lives. Like, because after that incident, her brother who pulled the trigger passed away, and they labeled it natural causes. Like, he had a brain aneurysm and died, I think, or it was like a lung blood clot, something like that, where just super random and like happen chance, I think that's a word, happenstance. And he just dropped dead. So I think that is super suspicious, like, and so fucked up. But so this case is going to be a very interesting case. So, they did just have a hearing for her to talk to the judge because she's representing herself. Like, man, this just like screams like Ted Bundy, like female Ted Bundy vibes, honestly, because Ted Bundy represented himself. And it's like they think, those sorts of people think that they could just talk their way out of things. And it's like, no, you can't. Like, that's just shit's just not going to fly. They're just not living in reality, is what it is. So she's going to get convicted. I mean, I already know she's going to get convicted. I mean, she thinks she's not because she didn't pull the trigger on her husband dying. They cannot find her little girl's body but they already know that most likely they pushed the little girl in this boiling acid hot spring. And then the little boy, who was her adopted son, they did find his body. So I don't know. I need to get more of the details on it. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to jump on and see if you guys are interested in these court cases, because this is what I'm going to be talking about. I'm not sure when. I need to find out when the next trial court dates are for these cases, and we can talk more about it. I am in LA. Like, those are kind of the national cases. There is a few cases here in the city that everybody is talking about. If you watch No Jumper, you will see that that's a podcast out of LA that one of their hosts just got picked up on an indictment involving like 20 other gang members, allegedly, on a RICO case sweep. So the name of that host is Bricc Baby, and they're just like, I don't know. So the LAPD did a sweep, And they do mention podcasting. So these people are, I don't know. I'll have to bring up the indictment. We can go over that too, because it references that podcast, and it just speaks to the fact where if you're committing crimes, like, don't talk about them. Like, don't talk about them. Like, street cred is like dumb. Like, talk about other people's shit, like I'm doing. I'm talking about other cases, not, I would never, so for whatever reason, people say things that, whether they feel like just talking about it on a podcast, they could just say it was for entertainment. And that would work if the cops, there wasn't an open case, if there wasn't an open investigation. So if there's an open investigation on something, you should not talk about your involvement in any aspect, or even laughing about it. And the indictment that lists all of the gang members were for crimes that were committed years ago. So time passing doesn't dismiss a case. If you were never tried for it and it's still open, now the FBI is involved. And you know what they say about Fed cases? Like, they're not gonna come in and bring you in unless they have like a solid case. And I think the stats are they win 95% of their cases. I mean, look at P. Diddy. P. Diddy thinks he's getting out. I don't think he will. He's been sitting in jail. I mean, when is P. Diddy's next court date? They will keep people in jail on a charge for years before it even sees a court date. And at that point, the person has to be so mentally drained that they're not going to know what's what. So the feds have a process and a method, and the House always wins. So I don't see P. Diddy getting out of jail. Whether people think he's innocent or guilty, I think, I don't know what to say about P. Diddy, honestly. Like, is it a crime to have? Yeah. What he did, what he's being charged for is forceful sexual acts, and involves, slipping people substances, which that's the part that is kind of the criminal part, the criminal aspect. If it was just a sex party, then I don't know. It's a slippery slope. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think P. Diddy is going to get out of jail? That case, I didn't really plan on talking about. I just feel like, I'll have to find out when his next court date is. Let me see. When is P. Diddy's next court date? When is P. Diddy's, his trial? May 5th. Oh, Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so that's like in a month. So he's facing federal charges. Yeah, obviously they're federal charges: sex trafficking and racketeering. So racketeering, I think, is like criminal enterprise. What is racketeering? Often associated with the racketeer influenced and corrupt organizations RICO Act, engaging in pattern of illegal activities, typically for profit through a criminal enterprise, and includes a wide range of offenses like extortion, bribery, and fraud. That seems very vague. I mean, not very vague, very broad. Like the music industry, and entertainment, money is exchanged. They say, it's show business. People, it involves like a lot of vanity. People sleeping to get higher up, or sleeping with someone that can give them a better role, and it's just a dirty business in general. So let's see if we can find P. Diddy's like actual paperwork. P. Diddy indictment papers. Okay, let's see. Damn, in the Department of Justice. That's crazy. This shit's official. Sealed indictment, 24 crime 542, count 1. I wonder how many counts he has. So Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka PD, aka Love. Count 1, racketeering conspiracy. Damn, they wrote a book. They wrote a book on this. For decades, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires. Yeah, that sounds like bullying, protect his reputation and conceal his conduct. I mean, what would be the punishment? Because to me, like, that's a slippery slope. Like, people talk people into doing shit for them to get sex in a lot of ways, directly, indirectly. The part that I feel is the criminal part is the drug part. If you slip someone the drugs and make them vulnerable, if they're fully coherent, it's a consensual, right? So, okay, let me see. To do so, Combs relied on the employees' resources and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson. So I think the arson is when he set somebody's car on fire. So I wonder if it has any more about that arson. Let's see what else they say about the arson part. I don't know what the arson part is. Diddy. I feel like it had something to do with the celebrity. Kid Cudi. Damn. Kid Cudi. He was mad at Kid Cudi. That's fucked up. See, the entertainment industry is dirty as hell. Kid Cudi's car arson. Prosecutors accused Sean Combs of being involved in a vehicle firebombing that appears to align with the Kid Cudi vehicle fire listed in a newly unearthed report. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. And has Kid Cudi spoke on this? Kid Cudi. Car P. Diddy. Let's see. I don't think, and that's the thing, like, how did the cops include that on this indictment? Because I've never really heard Kid Cudi like speak publicly about this. And so there's so much that happens in the entertainment industry that no, you don't. That's what the entertainment industry is. It's like all these deals behind the scenes and like people kissing certain people's ass to get